Hello, Richard. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Avery. How you doing?
It's sunny, it's beautiful, it's Friday. I'm good. How about you?
Good. I'm happy to be here in Toronto for the weekend. I was just looking at Francis D'Souza's live shot from the airport there with all the bags behind him, this big baggage handler strike. So a good weekend to stay home in the city, I think, Avery.
Can you imagine all those people? I mean, Francis was absolutely right. You say goodbye to your luggage and your fingers are always sort of crossed, but when you see them all kind of piled up like that, I hope it all makes it there.
You know, I couldn't tell you the last time I checked a bag, but I was just talking to our director, and he's going away this weekend. He's got kids, so he doesn't have that option, have to check a bag. But if you can make it work with a carry-on, I think that's the best way to go these days.
My biggest mistake, my last big trip I took, I got to the airport. I accidentally took someone else's bag home with me.
Really? You took it home?
No, to the hotel. So I'm in Liberia. I unzip the bag, and I pull out these big pair of man jeans. It was like, oh my God, all my clothes were gone. I had to try to track them down. Anyway, let's get on to business. Listen, Canada's economy doing really, really well, but that does impact the dollar and interest rates.
Yeah, it sure does. So we got the May GDP numbers today, the economic output statistics for May, much better than expected. Economy growing 0.6% in May over April, the best in a couple of years. Up 4.6% the economy was on a year-over-year basis in May, and that's the fastest growth we've seen in 17 years. Oil coming back to life. Canada's oil and gas sector growing almost 8%. And yeah, this now has everyone thinking that we're going to see another interest rate hike. Markets predicting a more than 73% chance of an October interest rate hike. And that has the Canadian dollar flying high. The loonie today is just off the top there, up to 80.46 cents US. This is a 2-year high for the Canuck buck. Avery takes about $1.24 Canadian to buy $1 US.
Great for anyone heading to the States, but it also has a lot of impact for other people as well.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm really curious about this. U.S. Wanting to sort of bring in non-addictive tobacco, non-addictive cigarettes, and obviously that's affecting the stocks of tobacco companies.
This is big, right? This is a big game changer because the U.S. Food and Drug Administration today, they're trying to obviously limit the harmful effects of tobacco. They said they are going to force the tobacco companies in the States to cut the nicotine levels in cigarettes dramatically to the point where the smokes really won't be addictive anymore. Nicotine is naturally found in tobacco leaves, but cigarette companies add chemicals to force the nicotine levels higher when burned, so they could reduce that. As a result, a lot of the tobacco stocks moved lower today, but a lot of analysts said, you know, there's maybe a silver lining here for investors in that this could force tobacco companies to move towards smokeless tobacco, which a lot of them have already spent a lot of money researching, you know, vapor cigarettes and things like that. This could force their hand to make that change, Avery.
What a tragic situation that's unfolding in Venezuela. Really, really tragic, and it's having such an impact on the economy. Another weekend of protests planned.
Yeah, so Venezuela's economy in many ways is collapsing, and there's a big vote this weekend. They're expecting big protests. Venezuela was the richest country in Latin America at one point, but, you know, they turned towards socialism in 1999, elected Hugo Chavez. His government spent big on welfare programs, fixed the prices for just about everything, and made the economy almost 100% dependent on oil. And Venezuela has the world's largest supply of oil, but in the last couple of years, the price for crude has tanked. The Venezuelan economy has gone along for the ride. Unemployment at 25%. Inflation out of control. Prices could rise 2,000% next year. And this weekend, there's a vote on Sunday. President Maduro, who's in there now, wants to rewrite the Constitution to basically get rid of the opposition party. And that could start, you know, a dictatorship. So expecting big protests in Venezuela, Avery.
All right, listen, O.J. Simpson's all over the news these days. This does not surprise me that someone, I'm sure a lot of people are trying to cash in, but someone wants to sell the white Bronco.
Yeah, the famous Bronco that 95 million people stopped to watch that chase way back when. Avery, Mike Gilbert, who served as Simpson's agent, bought that Bronco from Al Cowlings, who was driving the vehicle at the time. And he says he'll sell that Bronco for $750,000.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you know, it's currently in a museum in Tennessee.
Leave it there.
Yeah.
We all saw enough of it, really.
I think so. And of course, Simpson getting parole, he'll be out in October.
Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe
he might need it back.
OJ will buy it. Maybe he needs a new vehicle. Okay, listen, so a lot of people will be traveling outside of the city, traveling around the province this weekend. What's happening with gas?
It's going to go up a penny at midnight tonight. That'll bring the average at most GTA stations to about $1.12.9. We're likely to see another increase on Sunday. So if you're able to fill up the tank tonight, you'll save a little bit, Avery.
All right, listen, Richard, before you go, one of your colleagues, one of our colleagues at 680 News is retiring after a very long and great career.
We got to mention this. Betty Harris said she's been a fixture at 680 News for the almost entire run of the station. She's the editor. She works like many people do behind the scenes, Avery, to make people like you and I look good. We come in and take the credit for everything. She does a lot of the work. I wanted to surprise her today on her retirement. Have a quick look. All right, so Betty is like the linchpin of the newsroom. She sits and coordinates everything, but she's behind the mic, doesn't necessarily like being on the air. So what better way to mark her retirement than with a little camera ambush? Follow me. Come on. I'm trying to break a big story here. I hear someone's retiring after, what is it, 20 years? I'm looking for a comment. Can you confirm that, Betty?
Yes. Yes, I can. I can confirm that.
Congratulations.
Richard. Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much.
How you feeling today?
Most people don't stay married for 24 years.
And you've been here for 24 years?
I've been here for 24 years.
Right at this desk, pretty much.
I started when I was 10.
So Betty, she sits in the middle of the newsroom. She updates the scripts, coordinates the reporters, does everything. And in this business, 24 years is quite the accomplishment. In any business it is. So we wish Betty the very, very best, Avery.
I was going to say exactly that, Richard. 24 years in this business, that's amazing. And Betty, all the best to you. Lots of great adventures lie ahead for you.